Wow, wow, wow. What is good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know boxing, coming back at y'all with another one, man. So I got some good news, man. In a year that it seemed to have been kind of slow for big boxing matchup or anticipated boxing matchups. I mean, just truth be told, I'll speak on that in a second. We got David Benavidez announcing that he has signed a contract to fight David Morrell in a fight that we all been wanting or whatnot, right? Not the biggest fight we wanted, but definitely a big fight that we wanted, right? And I got to give David Benavidez a lot of credit. Let me go ahead and read what he has to say before I break down why David Benavidez deserves a lot of respect for this fight, all right? It says, this is a verified Instagram account that says, there were a lot of names on the table. We wanted to give the fans the best fight possible. I reached out to David Morrell and his team to make this happen, and we got the contract done. The fight is going to be a banger. Two of the best in the division, 2 titles on the line. Let's effing go. Date and location to be announced shortly. Now this is great news, all right? Great news. Now, first of all, I'm gonna tell you why David Benavidez should get a lot of respect, because boxers are not doing stuff like this anymore. But the fact that David Benavidez is going to fight David Morrell, knowing that he gets a title shot at the winner of Benavidez versus Bivol, and it's not a rematch clause. They actually somebody just I don't know if it was Eddie Hearn. Somebody made that announcement, but it's not a rematch clause in Benavidez versus Bivol. So David Benavidez gets a shot, has an automatic shot at the winner of the fight of, Benavidez and Bivol. And so he could have just taken an easy fight, a stay busy fight, which that's what I pretty much figured Jesse Hart was going to be, a stay busy fight. But instead, dude is fighting David Morrell. Now, if this isn't David Benavidez building up his this dude is just different, bro. David Benavidez is different, and I gotta admire that to the fullest, because, bro, what fighter's doing that now? This further just goes to show that David Benavidez wants the big fights. And he deserves the big fights. At 168, he's been in there with Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andre, David Lemieux, Anthony Durrell. So who had, and at that time when he was down there at super middleweight, besides Canelo, who had a better resume than David Benavidez? Nobody. He wanted to fight with Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, Canelo Alvarez didn't really care for the fight with him, so he moved up. He didn't just wait. He's not gonna sit around and just wait on anybody, which I agree. He shouldn't just sit around and wait on anybody. So he moved up and fought Alexander Gosvick, the former, I think he was the former WBC champion, knocked out Adonis Stevenson, sent him into retirement. And then, he got beat by Artur Beterbiev. And David Benavidez beat him. And again, is the mandatory to fight the winner of Bivol versus Beterbiev. And instead of taking an easy fight, he's fighting a dangerous guy in David Morrell. That's all credit, bro. You got to give this man nothing but respect, bro. David Morrell doesn't have too many big names on his resume. I'll take a look at his resume in a little bit, but he doesn't have that stacked of a resume. But the fact is, bro, he's a dangerous opponent. I mean, I know he beat my guy Calvin Henderson, or whatnot. I did a video about that, and the stuff that's going on in the background with David Morrell, or at least the allegations. But he hasn't had too many big names, too many big fights on his resume. But people been claiming that David Benavidez is avoiding David Morrell, which is bizarre to me. I just always thought that was crazy, because but it wasn't even people. It was the Canelo fanboys. Canelo fanboys would you gotta understand, when a fanboy's fighter is being pressured to fight another big time fighter, they'll try to put any roadblock in front of them that they can, right? So they were, claiming that David Benavidez was ducking David Morrell just because David Benavidez was trying to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez. It's just crazy. And David Benavidez, he's telling you right now, he's showing you hey, man, y'all call for this fight, because David Morrell has been calling out David Benavidez for a while now. And David Benavidez, has been calling out Canelo Alvarez. So I just, you know, they finally got to fight, you know, and I'm excited about it. I think this is a good matchup, and I'm hoping and praying that this fight is in December. All right, let's go. Let's look at David Morrell's resume. Let's see what his resume is looking like. Let me see. I don't think it's anything too major or whatnot, but let's look at it. I definitely know for a fact it's not as good as David Benavidez though. All right, so as we can see, David Morrell has the record of 11-0 with 9 knockouts. Let's see here. Dude, real name is like 5 different names. Osveri David Morrell Gutierrez Jr. Okay. His last fight was against Radvojic. A fight that we kind of like just, you know, he didn't look too impressive in the fight. That was his light heavyweight debut. You know, he fought Sine Beko, who actually spoke on the issues that, you know, he, you know, one of the allegations about David Morrell taking, you know, maybe doing something illegal behind doors. You know, he doesn't have a really good resume, if I'm not mistaken. Alantez Fox, who was actually I want to say it was really a career middleweight. I'm not, you know, am I thinking about, no, Michael Fox is not, but anyways, Calvin Henderson, like, you know, and that's my guy, you know, but none of these guys are just really A-level fighters, you know what I'm saying, if I'm just being honest with you. You know, Calvin Henderson, that's my boy, that's my brother, but I mean, you know, I'm just keeping it 100, and I'm sure Calvin would agree with that too. It's no disrespect, but like, none of these guys are big names, should I say. None of these guys are big names in the sport or whatever. The biggest name that he's fought, yeah, and that is bizarre to me. Like, that somebody would say that David Benavidez is ducking David Morrell. Oh wow, you know what's funny though? Here's another funny thing. David Morrell only has 11 fights, and you know, we want to see David Morrell in there with the likes of David Benavidez, right? But somebody else who only had 11 fights when they only had 11 fights and they went the distance with Terrence Crawford, it was, oh no, he only has 11 fights. Oh, okay, well, okay. Anyways, you know, I'm just gonna say that, but yeah, you know, there's nothing really spectacular about his resume. You know what I'm saying? Where him and David Benavidez don't even have common opponents. You know, but if I type in David Benavidez resume, oh shit. If I type in David Benavidez resume, 29-0, 24 knockouts. You got, you know, Alexander Gvozdyk, Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, David Lemieux. All of these are former champions. Right there, 4 former champions in a row, right there. Anthony Durrell. You know, that's 5 former champions on his resume, bro. It's almost half as many fights as David Morrell has. You know what I'm saying? So, I think this is I'm excited about this, bro. This is probably gonna be the most anticipated fight or the best matchup. No, I can't say that. Matter of fact, let's go over this year to see like, cause I mean, this year has kind of been slow. So for boxing, so we needed an announcement like this. I would probably say, because wasn't Tyson Fury versus Usyk this year? I'd probably say that would be #1. I'll probably say that would be the #1 best matchup, or you know, best matchup for this year. But David Benavidez versus David Morrell comes shortly after. I mean, it hasn't been too many great matchups this year. Like I said, I actually would probably say Tyson Fury versus Usyk was #1. I say Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia was #2. David Benavidez versus David Morrell would definitely be #3. But yeah, that's really about it. Nobody wanted to see Canelo versus Jaime. That's a good fight, but not really just a big fight, you know. But you know, it is what it is, man. This is the fight that we needed, and it looks like we got it. We're just waiting on David Morrell to return the favor. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you see winning this fight? I will do a fight prediction for this later, but what do I know?